Hello everyone and welcome to the first race in the P2 League, which takes us to Singapore. Underneath the night sky lies one of the toughest street circuits in the world, which will test both our drivers' skill and endurance. With clear skies and humid heat, let's take a closer look at the track. Stretching 3.1 miles long, containing 3 DRS zones and 23 challenging corners. This will really test our drivers out. Shay is the first guy out onto the track, so we're going to stick with him. He's going to be the first guy putting in an actual lap in this qualifying session. Good luck to everybody involved. This is the new AiRacing P2 Championship. Coming to you live from Singapore. I'm expecting to see that the top laps in this session should be somewhere in the region of about a 136. Low 136s, maybe into the top 135s. 18 minutes to qualify. Right, we're riding on board with him now. He takes a sharp turn onto the DRS straight. Down to turn 14. Moving up, slight dog leg into 15. Then a hard right into 16, straight into 17. Quick dash down into the bridge section of 18 and 19. Leading up to 20, which turns into 21 straight away. And a quick straight down to the final two turns, 22 and 23, and back over the start-finish line. You can see plenty of overtaking on this particular stretch here, particularly with good ERS use. And then of course you start off the lap with the 1-2-3 combo in the first 3 turns. And to the dog leg 4. Sharp turn round 5 into the long DRS straight. Small turn 6, right all the way up to the end to turn 7. Already yellow flags being shown down that stretch there. I don't know what happened. Oh, there was a Mercedes who's had a bit of an accident there. Now this track is a lot easier, I found, to drive in the 2020 edition due to the better downforce on the cars, but unfortunately it makes it sometimes there's a little more understeer when you go into the corners, so you may see plenty of times where there's misjudgment on the corners, which can lose you a heavy amount of time. But it makes it a lot easier to ride the curbs on this one. And is he heading already back into the pit? Nope, he's just taking a thin line, so he must be going for a different lap. He's already written off his lap. Sam sets the 1:38.5, which is the first lap of the qualifying. Let's step up and take a look at the Imperial, who's coming down to near the finish line, moving into turns 20 and 21. With a 1:40.9. The Brothers is coming up to finish his first lap on the mediums. Pops himself up with a 1:47. Take a look at Doug. Doug's the closest to finishing a lap here. The oldest driver on the grid. 64 years young. Mark Narcy popped up a 137.9 there as well, and Jerm with a 137.6. Lettles running with a 138.8. And Sam Yeat with a 138.5. Jordan, who's about to start his first lap. First hot lap. We're going to follow him for the entire lap. So he comes past the line here. Down the straight into turn 1, which moves straight into turn through and then into a sharp braking zone for turn 3. Before opening up. Quick dog leg of turn 4. Onto the DRS straight after turn 5. Heading up towards turn 7. Then it's turn 8. Into turn 9 before the decent straight. Halfway through sector 2. Into turn 10. Turn 11, straight into turn 12. Across the bridge. Into turn 13. DRS straight. Open fully up. Into turn 14. Turning into the car, trying to get out as far to the right hand side as you can. Before you head into turns 15 and 16. Quickly into turn 17. Before you head towards the bridge section. Turns 18. 19. Opening up quickly before heading into turns 20. 21 into the final straight. Before the long double turn of 22 and 23. Over the line. Sets a 139.6. Mark Narcy's now out on a fast lap. He's in the pass out of sector 2. We're going to follow along with him. Looking to improve on a 137.9. I did say I think we were looking for low 136s to be the top kind of time. Anything into the high 135s would be particularly impressive. I do expect in our P1 League the times to be dipping into the 134s. Mark just set a purple sector 2. Absolutely flying. Recently converted to a wheel. And it's clearly paying off. Again, Adidas is now out on a new set of tyres. He had set a purple sector 2, but I have a feeling that it's Mark Nasty, I think, who has just taken that again. We're going to have to move quickly to Mark Nasty after the end of this lap. Adidas comes round. It's going to be a 139.4. Ooh, collision with the wall there from Cheeky. That's going to slow down his time a lot. Just doing some updating to the thing there, see if we can make some change in the options. The Cheeky pops himself up into third with a 1:37.3. Wondering Me's now out on a hot lap. He's just set a purple sector 1. Is he going to improve on his time? Although we've got a yellow flag, so I don't know what's happened to Imperial. Looks like he's out of the quali. So he's not going to improve on his 1:39.9. Wanted me to set a purple sector 2. Going now down to the right left at the bridge section. A very difficult technical part of the circuit, that. Very easy to lose a bit of your wing. Come around 134, 135, 136.0. Fantastic lap there. Right at the end of the session. Jay's coming through. 134, 135, 136, 136.7. Pops himself up into second. Sam Yeat's still out on a fast lap. He's improving on his time. Is he going to be able to move himself up any more spots? Improves on his time, but doesn't improve on his position. I think Doug is the last guy out on the circuit, so once he crosses the line, that'll be the final race. He doesn't improve on his time. There you have it. Sam's definitely got a 5-place grid penalty. Oh, Wondering Me, I didn't see, has a 5-place grid penalty, so he'll actually be dropping down to 6, which means Jay and Mark Nasty will be our front row of the grid with a Mercedes and a bracing point. Cheeky Chappie will be in 3rd, Jern in 4th, with the brothers in 5th, so Wondering Me will plot into 6th. It's race day here in the first P2 League race. With the weather in Singapore looking clear for the entirety of the race, this should definitely allow the drivers to focus entirely on their driving and maintaining maximum speed. Let's take a look now as the drivers take their place on the grid ready for the formation lap. Under the lights and the cameras, we are now ready for the off. There we go. Jay Wizzy out at the front. We're going to turn the map off for this section. Incredible, and becoming the guy who qualified first by quite a distance, dropping out of P6 makes this race real interesting. So just a run through the running order for you for those of you who are just coming in right now. This is the formation lap. We've got Jay Wizzy on pole, Mark Nasty in P2, Cheeky Chappie P3, Jern P4, the brothers P5, and Wondering Me making up row 3. Row 4 is Lethal and Pix. Row 5, Clay and Adidas. Row 6, Jordan and Imperial. Row 7, Sam and Purdy. And row 8 will be Doug and Red Dog. But 2 of them have managed to get themselves disqualified by the looks of things on the formation lap. Projected pit stop strategies. The 2-stop or 3-stop. Depending on how he goes. I have a feeling it'll be a 2-stop. I'm expecting a lot of these guys to do soft, medium, medium. But some guys may go soft, hard, soft. And try and go for a mad dash at the end. The mediums seem to be good for around 12 to 13 laps. The softs tend to be good for about 5 laps. And the hards will probably be good for around 20 to 21 laps. But careful tyre preservation can actually make it last longer. But it's a very difficult track due to the length of the circuit to actually maintain that tyre control. And lights out. No. There we go. Strong start from Jay. Wondering me, the great start in the racing point moves himself up to 4th. Clayfunk drops a couple of spots. Adidas dropping a spot there. Lettel dropping all the way to the back. Don't know what happened. Everyone seems to have made it out in one piece, though. Recommending soft, medium, hard, that order for the tyre choices. It'll be interesting to see. That was a recommended setting. There's no guarantee that's what they're going to stay through for the entire race. But Jay still out in front, holding his position. Mark Nasty in 2nd. Cheeky holding 3rd. Wondering me in 4th. Who's managed to jump Jern and the brothers at the start. Shay's moved all the way up to 6th already. That's a big difference. Cheeky Chappie's just taken. What's happened to Mark? Mark's had an accident. He's now at the back of the grid. Wow, I don't know what happened there. I don't see any damage. Looks like he must have just had to miss a corner or something. Go back to Jay Wizzy up the top, who's pulling out a 2nd now on Cheeky Chappie. Wondering Me is right behind Chappie, and then there's about a 2-second gap to Shay. Jern has just had an incident. He's dropped down to P11. P13 now. I wonder if there's a connection between the two there. Mark Nasty's now moved up to P13. As Jern and Sam have both had to make pit stops. Let's have a look. We're following up with Sam at the back. He's moved on to some mediums. We'll move up to P6 following the battle for P4. We're Shady in the Alpha Tauri. The brothers in the Ferrari and Clayfunk in the Williams. And Adidas just behind them in the McLaren. A bit of a train going on here. It's a tough track to overtake on. But with the power of the ERS button this season, overtaking is a lot easier. But the gamble is, do you use up a lot of your ERS just to get in front and take track position, and then risk the other car being able to come back at you over the next couple of laps while you're short on energy? Cheeky's caught up with Jay right at the front. Cheeky Chappie sets the fastest lap, 1:42.2 in the Williams. Oh, and there's a slip there from the brothers. He's managed to turn his car back and get himself back into shape, but he's lost himself 2 places there. Clay now moves up to 5th. Adidas up into 6th. This train is going to be a very tight section of the race. We'll move back to the front. He's got him under the DRS. He's going in. Oh, that was very close to contact there. Oh, there's contact. Oh, they weren't giving themselves enough room there. And Cheeky's retired from the session. Why is he retired from the session in the middle of the track? There'll be a steward's inquiry into that after the race. Back in a second to the battle at P3 now. As Clay is catching up. He's taking a big chunk out of him on this straight. He's now only 0.4 of a second off of Shea in 3rd. Adidas seems to have dropped off a bit as he's moved out of the DRS zone, but he's making a little bit of time back on him. Wondering Me's now catching up a little bit on Jay, but he's DNF'd. Wow, what happened there? Wondering Me must have lost control of his car somewhere. We've missed that one, which now puts Jay well in front as he goes for his first pit stop of the race. Shea now takes over provisional lead of the race. We're going to stay with Jay Wizzy a second so we can see where he comes out. Probably due to the damage he received during the scrap with Cheeky there. Mark Nasty's managed to get all the way back up to 6th from last position though. Big comeback from him. Doug Vickers in 7 right now due to the pit stops. Jay comes out in P5. Now we're going to move back up to the top. Shea and Clay and Adidas having this battle. And Clayfunk takes the lead. Shea nearly knocks into the back of him. And Adidas now. Has he got a run on him? He has. He squeezes him out. But he doesn't take him on the next corner. He has to concede the position. Oh, but Shea's taken some damage there. I don't know what's happened. Just outside of camera view, Shea's taken some damage. Let's have a look at the front end of Adidas. We might see if there was actually a collision between the two. It looks like there's some damage to his front wing. There is, to his right front. Looks like the two of them had contact there. This can only be good for Clay, who's now pulled out a 2.5 second lead. Although, when it comes to the end of the pit stops, he'll probably be about 5 seconds down on Jay Wizzy, judging by... It takes about 20-ish seconds to take a pit stop on here. Right, let's go down the order a bit. Jern's catching up now on Doug. He's going to overtake him on the home straight, surely. He's got the run. There we go. Jern pops himself back up into P6 after his accident earlier on. Pitting early has actually benefited both him and Mark by the sound of things. Sam's catching up on the brothers back here, having had to make his urgent pit stop. In the meantime, I'm going to keep following these two while Sam catches the brothers. He's now within his DRS zone. Fantastic camera angle there just as we get into the DRS straight. Good work, Cody's. Oh, he hits into the back of him there. He's going to pick up damage. Only minor by the look of things, but tracking a little bit too close behind. Now we'll wait to see as they approach the home straight whether he can get the run on him enough to get past him. He's got a good run, and the brothers dips into the pits. As all the front runners except Clay go into the pits. Mark Nasty, Adidas, Shea, and the brothers all currently in the pits. Let's follow these guys and see what happens as they come out. Shea comes out in front of the pack. Mark Nasty's pit now brings him back down to P10. With Adidas a few seconds up the road in front of him. Oh, but there's been a crash in the Ferrari of Pix. He's only been out for 2 laps on these tyres, but he's going to have to go in. Absolutely flying. He's catching up with Sam Yeat here. Now, as this is the problem, is he's been caught up behind runners for quite a while. Getting the opportunity to get past them is quite difficult. And they're both kind of been catching the tail of Doug in front. Incredibly tight, both past Doug. Well, Doug's doing well hanging out in 6th position right now. He's doing well to hang with the big boys. Jay cuts the inside there. I don't know if he's going to receive a warning for that. Well, but Sam Yeat got one for a warning, so he's got a 3-second penalty coming at the end of the race. There was some damage as well to Jay's car there, I think. That's really going to hold him back. Oof. It's going to be interesting though, because the 3 guys who are out in front still yet to pit. I would expect these guys to be pitting in probably around lap 10, lap 11, maybe at the latest. Some might want to push longer, but I think a lot of these guys will want to get in, get some fresh boots on while they can still hold positions. Jern's having an incredible comeback. Mark's right on the back of Shea here. Up the inside, he's past him. Under the DRS straight. Gets the most timing out of that possible. Moves himself up into P7. Now he's going to start cutting in and tracking down on Mark. Shea's dropping off him. I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with him. Mark's on a real flyer right now. Yeah, but he's already outside of DRS. Clay's rolling out in front on his own. He's got all the time in the world. First time in 2020 you're seeing a Williams out in front. But they're making use of every opportunity they've got here to get that camera time. As he passes the Imperial to lap the Imperial. So the Imperial's got 1 less lap to, so they're only doing 30 laps instead of the 31 at the current state of things. So I'm going to move up to see Mark Nasty again as he's catching up on Doug. He's only a 1.5 seconds off him. He's taken a 1.5 seconds out of him in that last lap alone. In the pink Merc. Some say his daughter picked that colour out for him. He's right in. He's got the DRS engaged. We've got a good view of that DRS, but not a view of the actual action where it's happening. There we go. The local camera support are not doing a fantastic job at picking their moments, but we get to see it just in time for him to move easily past Doug. Now he's got to catch Sam Yeat in front. But we're looking soon that we're going to see the front runners drop in. And Jay has been cutting time out of them left, right and centre. He's taken about half a second out on Jern that lap alone. But he is on the fresher medium, so that's not to be unexpected. Shay's right on the back of Doug now. It'll be interesting to see here. Doug takes the wide line coming into turn 1. Into turn 2. And of course the harsh braking zone in turn 3 before you move back onto this straight, getting ready to turn into the DRS straight, which is probably where the overtake will happen. He's got the run on him. He's coming in real quick behind him. Picks open that DRS. Probably wants a little bit of ERS in order just to get the traction behind him. Those hard tyres are not easy to get the grip. And he's overshot it! Wow. Clayfunk picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, and that Alpha's not looking healthy. He's going to rejoin the track. But that's going to cost him big time. Mark is right on the back of Sam. And he's spun it! We are catching all the spins at the right time at the moment. Just looks like he lost traction out of that. Regains his track position and gets going again. But he's lost himself 6 or 7 seconds in that section alone. And he's lost it. The tyres are cold. Oh dear, Marky. It's gone horribly wrong. There we go. Now just take it casually. Reheat up those tyres. Otherwise you're going to keep dropping time. And Pix is right on the back of Mark, who's now been retaken by Doug. Well, that's a horrible lap for Mark. It was all looking so good and just a little moment of getting on the throttle too early. The Brothers picks up a 3-second time penalty. Corner cutting warnings. The Brothers has gone past Pix though. Mark's tyres seem to have resumed kind of normal temperature. He started to pull out a bit of a gap on the two Ferraris. Let's hope they don't do what the IRL Ferraris do and end up taking each other out. Just looking down the order, this is where the closest battles are all between this P7 and P9 position. Lettel has made his pit. He comes out now into P4 just behind Sam Yeat. But Lettel has come out on softs, interestingly. So is he going to decide to do a softs run and then go in and take the mediums to finish? He could well do on a fresh set of mediums. It's not impossible to do, I don't know, 14 laps would be probably about the maximum you'd really want to be doing before you start having issues of skidding into the corners. Beautiful panoramic shot there. You can see the cars at the far corner in the background. But he should be able to catch Sam, who's on 9-lap old mediums, and Sam just concedes. That's a very smart maneuver, really. The risk of contact to a car that's going to be so much faster on these tyres. Now Lettel has a fantastic chance to make up some time on Jay in front, but Clayfunk has just gone in, having put himself out onto the hards, but he's got Jay Wizzy going to be catching him up right behind. You can see him in the background there, only 3 seconds out. But Clayfunk seems to have decided he's going for the one-stop strategy, which means even if Jay manages to overtake him, he's still going to have to take another pit stop. There's no way he can do another 18 laps, 19 laps on those mediums. It's just not going to happen. Those tyres are not capable of doing that kind of distance. Shay is now in the pits. Doug is also now in the pits. One comes out behind the other. And they're going to come out in P10 and P11 respectively. Oof. And that's not what you need when you come out with a fresh set of tyres, because those are going to be cold boys now after that. Dropping another couple of positions. The Imperials now jump past him up to P11. I don't know what it is with people when they're near Doug, but Doug seems to have a magic power today to make everybody spin around him. Shay's pushing back in. He's got to be careful though. Those tyres will be cold after that spin. They seem to have picked up enough temperature now and he's starting to pull away. Imperial on those 4-lap-old softs are starting to lose their prime time. You know, these laps maybe have 4 decent laps before they start to go off and they're no longer at their premium. It's got 36%, 38%, 40% ERS left. Not the kind of thing where you want to be making any really long dashes under the ERS. You don't really want to be dropping under 20%, because once you get dropped below 20%, it's very difficult for you to keep that going lap through lap. It can just drain away gradually, passively through the lap. Picks up a bit under DRS, catches him up a fair bit on that straight. He's now within DRS time of Jay. Both these drivers are going to have to make another pit stop. This has suddenly become a very close race between these two. The thing is, looking at it, it's going to be very tough. I think they both could go in for mediums. I think Jay could probably stay out longer and then do 2 more balanced runs on the mediums. Oh, that's contact. Doesn't seem to be any harm done. But a wheel-to-wheel contact there as Lettel takes him over. Gaining track position for the time being, but both of these guys will have to pit again before the end of the race. Clay's out by 8 seconds from Lettel now. Lettel can make up time on him, but is he going to actually catch Clay? Because Clay doesn't need to make another pit stop. I think Clay's actually in the clear. He's only doing a 17-lap run on those hards, which is more than plausible. Mark Nasty now sitting in 5th as well. Catching up a little bit on Jern, but Jern has those hards on, and Jern's probably not pitting now till the end of the race, whereas Mark Nasty has to make 1 more. Sam Yeat no longer has to make any more pit stops before the end. Doug is probably pitted until the end, and Adidas are probably pitted till the end. All the other cars are probably going to have to pit 1 more time. Imperial now catching up to the back of Doug. Jay's got decided now's the time to push into the pits. Now what tyres is he going for? Because if he goes onto another set of mediums, he's taking a penalty first. He's getting his nose replaced. He's going on mediums, so he's going for a long 16-lap run on mediums. That's going to be a tough order to do. As he reappears now in 6th. Things just haven't gone well since that first pit stop for him. He's been going back and back for a guy that was pulling away at the start. He had 5 seconds clear when he moved in for his first pit stop on lap 5. Or lap 4. "15 seconds down from the brothers in front, but I should expect to see him to start eating into that quite quickly. But at the same point, he's going to have to be conservative on those tyres. He doesn't want to go and burn them out in the first 4 or 5 laps and then find that he makes the last 3 or 4 laps of the stint very difficult. It's interesting. Here we go. He comes into the pits now. So, how far behind Jern is he going to come? I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to be going on to mediums. I think we're in the window now where mediums are the best tyre choice. comfortably. Off he goes. Jern moves up into second. Mark moves up into third. But Mark's going to have to pit one more time. Lettel moves down to fifth. He's also found himself behind the brothers, who's also going to have to pit. And he'll have Jay Wizzy breathing down his neck soon as well again. Although he does seem to have about 4 seconds on him. He's managed to get out in front of the back marker there, though, of... I think that's Jordan. If we just switch to Lettel a second, he's been catching him at around half a second a lap here. Not going to be long before he's on the back of him. He's got a lot more ERS in the tank too. Oh, and the brothers has spun out, so that's made life a lot easier for him. Jay's also managed to get past him. Although he's lost a little bit of time in the process. God, the brothers is going to hate that, although he had to make a pit stop anyway, so it's not the worst case scenario. And even if he goes in and makes a pit now, he should only really come out losing one more position, so he should come out still in P7. Doug and the Imperial and the Red Bulls now having a real push on each other. Imperial's of course been in, changed out of his softs, got onto some mediums. They're both kind of tired for the rest of the race. Oh, it's getting dangerous. Christian Horner will not be happy seeing these guys scrapping. There's valuable points on the line here. Oh, there's collision. Oh, that is not going to be a popular thing for them. I think unfortunately that's a case of impatience by the Imperial. He shouldn't have been trying to take him in those things. He hasn't got a nose or the line or anything to take him. You have to give more space. All Doug is doing is holding his line. We're at lap 21 of 31 in this race. You do not want to be having to make an extra pit stop. Careful on that run. Is he going back into the pit? No, he's not. He's staying out. Clearly not enough damage done. But in doing so, he's lost himself the line. He shouldn't really have gone off the dirty line. He should have made himself stay in there and then push on that straight. See, this is the thing. Now you wait for here. You get yourself positioned coming out of this corner here. See, you've lost your position again because you're cutting on that corner when you should have waited for this one. These back markers are sitting here having their own little battle. Well, it looks like Jern is approaching from behind, but Imperial sticks the move this time past Doug. Now Mark Nasty's made his pit. He's come out. Unfortunately, behind the back marker of Adidas, Jordan Hassel is DNF now. Adidas should find a position so he can concede the position here because he's holding up Mark. And Mark's got a chance to get a good run on Sam here. This is where the action's going down right now. There's a bit of a use of ERS there. That's a very wasteful use of ERS, using it right at the end of the straight when you've already geared up. Should have been using that right at the start. Using less ERS to get the speed in quickly. But Mark on these new mediums should not really have much of a problem getting past him once he gets into an actual overtaking opportunity. Remember everybody, the P1 race will be following after this race. We're running a tiny little bit late due to people showing up a little bit late. But we should be finishing up pretty much in about the next 20 minutes. So the P1 race will probably be starting about 15 minutes later, 15 to 20 minutes later than scheduled. Now Mark, just take it calm. Don't try and dive into him on this straight. Oh, he turned into... It's gonna... oh, I thought there was going to be contact between the two there. Adidas unlapping himself. You shouldn't unlap yourself, Adidas. That will be... the stewards will be looking into that after the race. Oh, Mark, he's spun it. He's taken out his wing. Deary me. He hasn't recently converted to the wheel, so, you know, he does make mistakes because he's now going no assist. But that he'll be disappointed with that. He just pulled the move he'd been waiting to make. He's now going to have to make an extra pit stop or try and do a whole 8.5 laps with a crumbling front wing. Which is now going to mean he's going to end up popping out behind the brothers. Now Jerm manages to take Sam on that lap. Apologies, I was taking a drink during that. I was trying to commentate on it. My throat went completely dry. Carve his way back up through now. He's made a last transition and he's moved on to hards. It must be his only remaining set of tyres. With a number of laps left, he probably could have gone back onto some kind of worn softs or mediums from the qualification and probably been a better option. But now it's all about damage recovery. I think he's got a chance to get the points off the Imperial. Impressive from Doug Vickers now sitting there in 10th. He's just made an extra pit stop and moved himself onto softs for the last laps. I did think he'd made his final pit stop, but clearly not. Is he going to end up getting caught by Adidas for it? I feel like those hards would probably have survived. He did go in at the right time for them. Clay still sitting there 25 seconds out in the lead. Mark takes the Imperial. Moves himself up into 8th. Imperial having an absolute shocking lap there. But those fresh hards really coming in handy for a very gripped, rubbered down track at this particular point in the race. Probably not losing so much of the benefit at this point of not being on the hards. Sam Yates had to go into the pits. He's going out for a set of softs. Is he going just to try and hit a fastest lap? That means the brothers now moves up into P5. He's going to come out. Is he going to be able to catch him in 6 laps? Is he going to... Oh, and he's crashed straight away out of the pit and done his wing completely in. Concentration lap, son. Well... The brothers has now probably secured 5th out of that because there's no way he's going to be making up any of the time he was hoping to. Lettel staying far ahead of Jay. Oh, Jay's just taken some damage to his wing though. Just at the moment you didn't want it to happen. With 5 laps to go, that's going to make it increasingly difficult on what I already said was very worn set of mediums. There's going to be a drive to survive moment for him. Jern takes a second out of him since that incident alone. Jern's now taken up a second and a half since that incident. Jern could really find himself pushing for a podium here if he really can push. He's on particularly fresh mediums. There's no reason for him to hold back. Doug holding firm. But I don't think he's going to be able to hold Adidas off forever. Of course, it'll be interesting to see when all the penalties come into play at the end of the race as well, exactly what's happened. Is he going to get past him? There could be an opportunity after the next 2 turns for him to catch him on the next straight. Let's see. How's it good is he on Urs? Oh! Clipped the wall a little there. Going to be a little late to make that move there. Fighting over the last championship point. I'm keeping an eye on Jern. Jern's only 3.5 seconds now behind Jay Wizzy. Was there a collision there? I did see some flying debris, but I don't know whether that was old debris. Oh! Adidas, what have you done? Well, that was poor braking there. He's done damage to both of the cars. Now, Jern was only 1.5 seconds behind Jay. We picked up damage at just the wrong moment. We've got 2 laps to go. Is he going to be able to take him before the end? As we move into the penultimate lap. Oh, but he gets cut off by the back marker there of in the Imperial. Who lets him through. Very gentlemanly. Now the battle ensues. Now is he going to be within DRS before the DRS zone? He is within DRS right now. This is going to be very, very close. Also keeping an eye on Clay because he's about to enter the final lap. Jern's right on the back of Jay. This is going to be a fight right to the finish. Has he got him up the inside here? No, he's not quite got the speed to get him through here, but he's very tight. We're coming up to the next DRS straight with only 0.3, 0.5 of a second in it. Ooh, very close. They're about to make contact there for a second. Deceptive camera angle. Red Dog picks up a 3-second time penalty. As we come into the home straight. This could be an Urs pushed up the inside here. Has he got the run on him? He's got the run on him. He takes him. He's going to get a chance to come back. How far is Clay from the finish? Okay, we've got half a lap left of Clay. We've got to be able to move back there to catch the end of it. Is he going to be able to come back at him? He's over 1 second out. He's going to get DRS. He wasn't 1 second out when the DRS was hit, but it looks like He's just not got the pace. So we're going to follow with Clay as we come into the final few corners. In Sector 3. Turn 17. Coming to the bridge section. 18 into 19. Victory in sight in the first P2 Grand Prix. 2021, 2 corners to go. As Mark Nasty sets the fastest lap of a 1:43. Clay wins the race for Williams. The fireworks are going. Congratulations. Claire Williams will be overjoyed at what was a very, 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 very well strategically played race. Lettel comes over the line in second. We've now got Jern and Wizzy. Sam finishes in 6th. A lap down. Jern finishes 3rd, picks up the 3rd place on the podium. Jay Wizzy crosses the line, but my gosh, I don't know how many penalties he had there, because he's just jumped massively back in time. We're just waiting now for the brothers to finish. Brothers in 5th, Sam 6th, Pick 7th, Imperial 8th. We're just waiting now for Mark Nasty to finish in the last position. Red Dog DNFs. GG's, Marky. So we're waiting for the final classified results. All the drivers are in. Congratulations to Clay for winning the first Grand Prix. GG's, everybody. Taking that rare moment to stouse down the Williams engineer there on the podium. Great result for Renault. 2nd and 3rd will put him in the lead in the Constructors' Championship in the P2. So let's take a look at the classified results. Clay Funk wins in the Williams, taking 1st position. Lettel in 2nd position for the Renault. Jern in 3rd position for the Renault. Jay Wizzy comes 4th in the Mercedes. 5th is the Brothers 2000 in the Ferrari. 6th is Sam Yeat in the Alfa Tauri. 7th is Pix Ruffy, 8th is the Imperial, 9th is Mark Nasty TV, 10th is Adidas, 11th is Doug Vickers, 12th is Red Dog Twin, and the 4 other drivers failed to finish the race. Jordan, Shay, Wondering Me and Cheeky Chappie. And looking quickly at the Drivers' Championship, gives Clay Funk an advantage in the Williams, 7 clear points from Lettel in 2nd. Mark Nasty gains an extra point for having made the fastest lap of the race. And now we switch over to the Constructors' Championship, with Renault leading with 33 points, Williams with 25 points, Ferrari with 16 points, Mercedes with 12 points, Scuderia Alfa Tauri with 8 points, Red Bull Racing with 4 points, Racing Point with 3 points, and McLaren with 1 point, meaning every team managed to score in this race. Thank you for coming, everybody. We look forward to seeing you next week for the 2nd race in Bahrain. We'll see you all then.